give it a quick listen, and then I'll break down all of the details that went behind this. So here I have the open beat, what I call the open beat break for the first, it looks like about 8 bars. And then I start introducing the different sample and some congas. This is all DJ Q stuff, and it's ramping up and introduce what I call the body of the track. Keep rolling along, and we're just building it up until we hit what I call the introduction, or the open introduction to the song. It's usually after DJs cue this up. After 32 bars, as you can see here, it just says, all right, the song has arrived, so let's get into it. So this is the different sample. Now we're getting right into it. All right, so I'm going to stop it right there. So we have the main loop that, again, my boy Joey was going off to earlier. It's filtered down here. Let's get it to more of an open part right here. And then I added Fender Rhodes on it. This is a keyboard sound that I just love. This is a snare. It's just important to make sure all of these are in key. Really, what I do with a lot of my productions, especially when they're sample based like this, I try and follow the original elements in the sample, and through my drum work and you know, any other unique sounds that I can introduce to it to make it more modern. I find, you know, a nice balance at the end of the day that works very well for the listener and DJs for the club. So what you heard there was a few chord progressions, the lead snare that came in. I'd say the most complex thing about this song was the bass line. So this synth bass here, I've soloed it out. I'll play it. And actually, for this particular version, versus the original High, Live, and Dirty, I had to change a couple of notes in the bass line. And you can see, like, you know, it's, you know, it kind of scales up and down. And I needed to make sure that it was absolutely perfect. So what I played for you there is what I call the main lead synth bass part. And then this is the sub bass part of it, and I'll play that as well. So what sub bass does, it just adds more depth and lower frequencies. And you'll see I've colored a couple of pieces in the sub bass, because the reason why I did this is because there are lower notes where I had to split it out and just make sure from an EQing perspective they shine and have a nice fit in the overall mix composition of the song. So when everything's being played, you can hear them nice and clearly. again, the other thing here is I kept it quite simple. These drum elements are from my machine here, and I didn't change any of those because I have so much sampled beat breaks going on, like between, I'll just find a part where they're all playing together and you'll see what I mean. Let's highlight these four. So I'm going to sample this. That's like a modern disco break. And this is like another beat break. This is a disco. So you can see I'm just layering and layering with the drums, and then I added percussion with the congas. And then, you know, over here it's just in terms of the MIDI instruments coming from machine. Looks like I got something on pad 4. So that's normally my close hat. And then pad 10 is a clap. And 11 is usually, or no, it's 12 in this case. Normally pad 11 I have my finger snaps and stuff popping off. And that's just to add to the groove. So all of this I just kept the same, but made sure it rocked nicely with the sample that went off so nicely at the House of Yes. Really a great pocket moment, and what I wanted to just make sure I did here is, you know, I have a strong philosophy in my production approach, which is less is more. You don't want to be doing too many crazy things all at once in the spirit of, you know, trying to make an impression. I just realized here too that in my God Speaks bass line, this is what the edit is called, is High, Live, and Dirty God Speaks version. The original bass I was playing is actually from the original. So I want to, my bad, I want to just make sure I'm clear here. This was the bass line that I used, and I colored certain clips to make sure the lower notes were heard. I'm just going to play this over just to make sure it's nice and clear, because the first one probably sounded a little busy with both bass lines going. I mean, maybe certain notes were the same, but I know in this version I had to change some notes, so this is the right one. And what else can I say about this? Let's unsolo that. Oh, I added a solo to this from my Matrix Brute back there. You can't see it on camera, but we'll make sure a picture of it is in this video. Here's the solo I played over it. And Louis Vega asked me for this version. I don't know where he heard it. But he asked me for this version because I didn't release it. This is kind of a special thing. Because of the deep inspiration from the House of Yes and my experience there, that I just wanted to keep unique and to myself. So, just straight groove here, and it all just kind of fits nicely. This is towards the end of the track. Just letting the solo carry us out. And at this part in the track, I'm just letting, you know, the solo and the beats do its work. Now what's interesting, I think a little bit later here, you hear the original Dirty 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 sample come in on top of the one that I used at the House of Yes. And it's just to sort of say, hey, the two are meeting each other, let's rock it as we go out. We go through. I still get asked about the song so much. It's just been an absolute delight, and I feel so grateful to be able to put a record like this out with the Hot Creations team. You know, you see, it's, in my opinion, it's quite simple, but there's quite a few different things going on. And the way I work is, you know, I like to keep all my sample grooves at one part of the arrangement, and then in the bottom I see all of the MIDI stuff, which is things I've actually had to play and do either on a keyboard or on machine. The only exception is with the solo here, it's completely analog, it's audio. I just wanted to capture a very specific live feel to it, so that's just a straight take from the Matrix Brute. And there you have it. This is High, Live, and Dirty, the God Speaks edit. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'd be more than happy to take your questions on specific things that I did production-wise with this track. Thank you.